ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. We have a very special guest for you today. He is an industry thought leader, a tech innovator, and an AI evangelist. I couldn't be more excited to welcome back to the show Tim Nguyen, founder and CEO of BeSmartee. Tim, welcome back to the show.
Michael, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Oh, well, it is great to have you. You have a wealth of knowledge and expertise. You're totally entrenched in the industry. Tell me a little bit about kind of what have you guys been focusing on? I know you've rolled out new products at the beginning of 2024. Where are you guys focused now, and where do you think you guys are adding the most value to lenders?
Yeah, absolutely. So really the big thing for us in 2024 was I took the best of BeSmartee and two of our top competitors, and I put them all on one platform. And so we've always been known for automation of data and processes, to provide ROI. But we introduced our mobile app at the beginning of the year. So that's now being utilized across, our client base and also referral partners, the real estate agents that they work with. But we also took the time to kind of upgrade, provide a big overhaul of our consumer experience. Really lifted up the look and feel to make that branding representation to the lender much, much better. So I like to say we kind of hit the trifecta here: automation, mobile app, and consumer experience all in one. That's really been the core focus for us in 2024. It'll continue being a focus for us into about Q2 of 2025.
I love it, and I love let's kind of peel back the onion a little bit more about the importance of improving the customer experience and really allowing the tools, whether it's mobile, whether it's the automation, so that lenders can be more efficient and streamlined, because profitability is critical in today's market.
Yeah, it really is. It's interesting, consumer experience as a topic was something that really kind of became a thing. If you remember in 2016 when Rocket Mortgage launched Rocket Mortgage.
Yep.
And, we all thought it would last a couple of years, and it would last like 4 years, right? Until a different market kind of took over. But you're absolutely right. Consumer experience is still a pillar. It's not just in our industry. Every industry out there, especially digital industries in particular, they're just constantly looking for ways to provide a much, much better consumer experience. So we don't think that core component of what we do will change in the near future, especially with the introduction of AI and how we can now collect data and present data, provide a different experience for buyers that, they'll demand. And you hit on ROI, which is always a sensitive topic for me. That's kind of the second part of what we've been working on in 2024 is, outside of the product at the organization, we're really just focused on the fundamentals of the business. And these are the fundamentals that all businesses should really be, focusing on during the worst of markets, because in the best of markets, profit margins will be maximum.
Exactly. And I think you guys take a very strategic approach to doing that internally and for your customer base. And I think that's one of the reasons why you've been so successful. You've mentioned AI. I love talking about AI, but unfortunately, AI for a lot of people is just a buzzword. You go to any conference and you see a lot of people talk about AI, and they have AI. And so tell me, where do you see AI currently being used in the industry and its true applications versus it just being a buzzword and a lot of noise, but not really people getting a return on it?
Yeah, great question. There's a lot of noise in AI for sure. But no doubt it's the future. We're literally at the 1 yard line of, of a 100-yard football field, right? We're just starting. We took a much more cautious approach where we said, okay, there's a lot of tools out there. Let's just use it. Let's just consume what's out there. Marketing, sales, legal, engineering, QA, et cetera, right? It's only until 2025 that we're going to start saying, okay, we're going to start actually building AI into our products. And the reason why is the landscape was changing so fast.
Right.
It was just too easy to choose the wrong partner, implement the wrong thing, and just waste time on engineering, product, of course, delivery, and the client's time, which is the most important. So with that said, what we see, AI, I think for starters, you're going to see a lot of great companies like Accelerate, over there. They're using AI for call logging and providing instantaneous feedback to the loan officer. I think you're going to find a lot of niche opportunities like that. For a platform as BeSmartee, we're going to be using on the data side. right? Our belief is that we have a lot of data on the point of sale and also from the loan origination system, right? And if you merge that data together, you have the entire experience data,
Right.
behavior data, data collection, how, everything. You have a full 360. With that data, we're really looking to use AI to help retain customers, to help re-engage customers. As you all know, right, was 1 out of every 5 borrowers ever go back to the lender they worked with
Exactly.
originally. Um, Retention, re-engagement is really bad in our industry. We believe that AI can become an assistant where it helps a homeowner become a better homeowner, allows them to be more sticky and more in love. It's probably the best word I can say to the brand, right? Where the lender can become more of a long-term trusted advisor to the relationship, not just a transactional advisor. We think AI will help us, deliver the income or excuse me, the output insights to the consumers so they can just simply be good homeowners and be responsible homeowners for the long haul.
Well, and I love it. And I think, with that data, sentiment analysis becoming so much more critical where you can find out really where is your borrower at? Where is your customer at? If you're going to retain them, are they now starting to look at something else? You want to be the first one that they're talking to. And I think people that understand the AI, and I love how you've approached it of let's use it and consume it ourselves first. And that's what I've tried to do is really leverage and use and consume AI because like you said, it's changing so quickly. You might have started with Chad and then said, man, I like Perplexity more, or for this task, Claude's doing a better job. I mean, and if you put all of your resources into just one bucket, how many stops and starts do you have? So I love your approach to that, Tim. If I'm a lender out there and I'm starting to I hear all of these buzz things about AI, how do I start vetting vendors to look at who's really got AI, who doesn't have AI? What should I be doing in this process so that I can properly vet and look at what's really true AI and what's just kind of hype?
Yeah. Well, certainly don't get caught up on the hype. It's a long game. This is, it's like the internet back in, 1998. You're not going to miss the boat if you have a nice 1 to 2 year plan. You don't have to do it next year, right? As long as you have a near term 1, 2, 3 year plan, you're going to be just fine in the long haul, right? It's a long game. I'll start there. But you know what? The fundamentals of vetting your vendors shouldn't change. However you vet your vendors today, the process you have in place, continue that process. Now, that said, I do think a lot of people should really get a good idea of what they expect AI to do and really bump that against what the vendor is providing. AI could be very cool, very shiny, but if it doesn't, again, provide real ROI, real tangible benefits, you're going to spend your time implementing something that's cool, but it's not going to get you that return you need. I would highly recommend someone at the organization get educated on AI, or maybe a committee, right? However, however our companies work, but get an expert on your side, not hire a consultant. I do think that the AI part of this all, if you just listen to the vendor, it's going to sound great. But how does that, just like any other technology, it's no different. How does that plug into all the multiple systems you have upstream and downstream? I'm sorry I can't give you a magic bullet here, Michael, but it's just another technology.
Well, and
Measure
I think that's what's so important for people to hear. I think too many people think it's a magic button. Too many people are looking for AI. Well, I can get rid of these 5 people here, and I'm not going to need people to do this. And I'm like, wait, wait, wait. AI is not going to take your job. People who know how to use it will. You still need subject matter expertise, whether it's in marketing. Yes, marketing can create great email and blog content and all that, but it's got to be done by someone who understands the mortgage industry. If you don't have that subject matter expertise, then you just have a lot of generic content. Or the example I always use is I'm not a coder. I don't know how to code. Well, you can use AI to write some code. Well, my code would suck because I'm not a coder. I don't specialize in that. So I like your strategic approach and saying you don't have to solve everything with AI tomorrow. I use the internet analogy quite frequently. When I got into the mortgage business, let's just say over 25 years ago, only executives at that company had internet access. and the rest of the people didn't. Why? Well, bandwidth was expensive. Okay, but then you started drilling down. Confidentiality, privacy. There was a lot of those are a lot of the same concerns people have with AI today. So I think doing it strategically. What are some of the guardrails or some of the concerns or some of the red flags that should get people looking at saying, yes, AI can do a lot of great things, but here's where you can also get into some trouble if not used properly?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to loop back to a point you raised earlier, and then I promise we'll get into the safeguards. There's, you know, the engineering that we've been used to today, right? Relational databases and if and else statements and workflow design and data warehousing. It's not going anywhere. Okay, it's really important to have what I call traditional software engineering in certain areas of your software. Okay. Anything that needs to be very predictable and auditable, right? Workflows that need to be done a certain way, rules that need to be very, very clear, black and white. Your traditional software products, engineers, that is still the best technique for it. AI is really much more, AI will solve what traditional engineering can't solve. But AI can't solve for what traditional engineering solves, if that makes sense, right? So when
Does.
we develop an AI platform, your framework is still just traditional code. All right. And then the AI is, think about it this way. In terms of a human body, your traditional software is kind of like your nervous system, right? The veins that go in and out in your skeletal system. It's kind of the way it is, it's set, it's designed, right? It's the framework.
Right.
AI is like your organs. Right? It's alive, it's breathing, it's morphing, it's changing. Right? You have a lot less control over those things because it just behaves a certain way. And really, the trick is to weave it together. So going back to kind of safeguards, first off, you can't accept. You can't. You got to be careful where you use AI, especially mortgage lending, because the CFPB and doesn't, and nor should they, accept the answer that AI told me, right? Nor should anyone accept. Well, AI told me. Can't. It's not a cop out. Right? It's not the Bible. It's not the source of truth. It's an opinion. You treat AI like a very smart person that you have access to. But you have, ultimately, your neck is on the line. It's your decision. You got to make your own decision, right? You're just supplementing, information and knowledge and experience by using AI, right? So AI is not a black box. You can't point to and say, well, that's why I declined the file. You got to have document your reasoning, your thinking behind it. All the rules and regulations the industry goes through, it doesn't go out the window. It's just applied to a different technology. So that's the first safeguard. The second safeguard is, making sure that you segment your private data. I know it sounds really simple and obvious, but if you're uploading documents to GPT that's confidential, don't do it. Stop right now. If you want to start using private data, there's vendors like Ask Bob, a company that I co-founded with Andrew. They're good, I think you know.
Yep.
There's companies out there that will properly segment the data, wall off that data, keep it private and secure, and use that data in a very responsible way. If you're using generic Perplexity and GPT, they're great systems, but just don't give it any private data because it's going to train and learn on that. And that information, well, could be available downstream to somebody else.
Great insights, Tim. What's next?
And data security.
Great points. And what's next for BeSmartee in 2025? We're only, believe it or not, 2 months away from the end of the year, right? We've got an election today. What's in store for 2025 for BeSmartee, and where are you guys focusing your attention to add the most value to the lenders?
Yeah, we're going to continue focusing on consumer experience. That's our number one job, right? That means applications convert at a very high level. It means they have a pleasant experience, right? The consumer does. We're going to continue to focus on automation because real ROI, I think finally the industry has gotten a hold of the fact that, the way we've been operating for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles, it just can't persist. We can't make money when times are good and lose money when times are bad. Got to find a way to flatten that curve out, right? To make it a long-term, scalable business that doesn't keep you up at night very much, right? And then of course, we're going to continue to focus on the mobile app because it is a new product to us that we've introduced. We're continuing to listen to our users, expand it out. Those are the 3 core focus areas from a product side, right? And also towards the end of next year, we'll start adding the AI element where we start looking at a customer for life experience. for our lender clients and borrowers.
I love it. Tim, if people want to find out more about all of the cool stuff that BeSmartee is doing, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you?
Just go to besmartee.com and hit the contact us button. Somebody will get back to you. Otherwise, you can email me directly, tim@besmartee.com. So tim@besmartee.com.
I love it. Guys, check them out. They're doing some incredible things. And more importantly, they're doing it and they're doing it the right way in a very strategic, intentional way. So check out BeSmartee, all the incredible things they're doing. Tim, I greatly appreciate your time and your awesome insights. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you having me.